Sup guys, Rain here. From the over 200 games coming to the Switch, we've rounded up the surest ones to bring you the 53 upcoming Switch games for 2019, 2020, and beyond, arranged in no particular order. Metroid Prime 4, one of the pioneering forces of the platformer genre, makes a huge return to the video game world. Metroid Prime 4 is part of Nintendo's long list of big budget games that's coming out to the Switch in the coming years. Although there is completely zero details on what the game is all about, it's expected to be better than ever considering the Switch's improved hardware functionalities. The game is still in development and the developers are pretty mum about the story details, so there's no release date yet, but we hope it comes out this 2019. Fate X Tella Link, Exceed's upcoming JRPG, continues on after the events of the Umbral Star. The game adds 10 new servants to its original roster of 16, and the gameplay is completely refined for a more high-speed action. Meet legendary new heroes from the other Fate series, including Astolfo, Skahawk, and Francis Drake. In Link, players can defend the virtual world of Seraph from an invading force, engage in fast-paced combat with its all-new and improved gameplay. Additionally, the game's base camp feature lets you players move freely and interact with other servants for added lore and even some fan service. The game comes out this February 19th. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. The Mario Brothers and pals are back in a more refined single-player or multiplayer fun this time around. Save the Mushroom Kingdom as you take on two family-friendly side-scrolling adventures with up to 3 of your friends. This deluxe edition features an enhanced gameplay experience that showcases 2 games in 1. Play the new Super Mario Bros. U and the more difficult Super Mario Luigi U games, both of which includes Nabbit and Toadette as playable characters. Enjoy its 3 additional modes including Boost Rush, Challenges, and Coin Battle for some fantastic Switch fun. It comes out this January 11, 2019. Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy. Speaking of reboots, here's a hefty throwback from the good old GameCube days. Released in 2003, Eurocom's Cursed Mummy rises once more from its ancient sarcophagus. Like a small-scale AC Origins, Sphinx is a third-person action-adventure centered around the myths of ancient Egypt. Play as Sphinx and the Mummy and use their individual skills to defeat the evil plans of Set. Aside from its adventure features, the game also has plenty of platforming action to get around. One of the most beloved games of its generation, it's nice to see it all glammed up for the Switch. Fixing game-breaking save bugs once and for all, it's set to release in 2019. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered Edition. A co-op Final Fantasy adventure makes a comeback after 15 years since its debut. Now coming to the Nintendo Switch, this remastered RPG comes with a new online multiplayer mode for you and your friends to enjoy. And of course, the best thing is, there's no cables needed! One of the most memorable RPG classics from GameCube embraced the most accurate Final Fantasy experience you can ever play. With an engaging gameplay, teaming up with friends makes every adventure amazing, especially when everyone moves away from the poisonous miasma that covers the world. No release date yet, but it's slated for a 2019 schedule.
With the new online multiplayer mode, you and your friends can connect and adventure together. No link cable required. On top of that, there are new areas inside dungeons, so even returning fans can explore the unknown.
Fantasy Strike. Fighting games are hard, and what more with their complex combinations and all. But from Sir Lin Games comes a fighting game that makes all of that simpler. An early access game on the PC, Fantasy Strike is a game that's designed for newbies but still altogether enjoyed by fighting game veterans. Looking stylish with its cartoon visuals, the game has a diverse lineup of fighters divided into groups of zoners, rushdowns, and wildcats. Easy as it is to pick up when it's created by an ex-Street Fighter developer, you'll know there's some depth to it too. Optimized for keyboard play, we are curious what fighting will look like on the Switch Joy-Cons. Hopefully, it's still as good. It's set to release the first quarter of 2019.
Starlight!
The Raven Remastered. THQ's Nordic point-and-click adventure takes you to the 1964 London, where you follow the footsteps of the legendary master thief and secure the stolen ancient ruby. This remastered journey lets you explore a thrilling crime story through the eyes of multiple characters. Alongside its graphical updates, the game pays tribute on what made the WoD Unit Classic great. Involve yourself in the game's main murder mystery and listen to the compelling voices of the characters. Apart from that, its fully remastered animations and lighting makes the classic adventure feel fresh. No release date yet, but it's coming out sometime this 2019. Travis strikes again, no more heroes. Travis Touchdown is making a grand comeback on the latest No More Heroes game. Our unlikely protagonist goes on a rampage of epic proportions. Help him fight Badman, the father of Bad Girl, in a ludicrous action-adventure experience. The latest title in the cult classic No More Heroes series contains a total of 7 game titles, including an action game, racing game, and puzzle game. This one is set 7 years after No More Heroes 2. By using another Joy-Con controller, 2 players can team up for co-op multiplayer action. It's coming out this January 18, 2019. The Book of Unwritten Tales 2. Also from THQ Nordic and King Art, the makers of The Raven puts you into a magical world of Avantasia. Similar to their formula, the sequel of The Unwritten Tales 2 is a point-and-click adventure. Help these characters fulfill their unwritten desires. Join Wilbur, Ivo, Nate, and Critter as they embark on a quest in this magical, wicked world. Face political intrigues, war, and even a bit of romance as you slowly learn to love these major characters. With its over 20 hours of story, expect a multifaceted story that gets better at every chapter, especially with its well-established characters. It comes out sometime this 2019.
It's like my dear old father used to say, coyote, snake, bird looking to the left, sun, wavy lines, exclamation mark.
What?
Final Fantasy VII. Before we get to taste the highly anticipated remake, the Switch gets to enjoy the award-winning Final Fantasy classics, including the legendary Final Fantasy VII. Follow Cloud and his friends as he stops the evil Shinra Corporation from tearing Midgard apart. A true JRPG classic, engaged in fun turn-based battles with its memorable Final Fantasy characters including Tifa, Barret, Yuffie, and even the sinister Sephiroth. In this Switch version, every adventure with Cloud, Strife, and friends is at the palm of your hands. It comes out sometime this 2019. Ninjala. Between hosting Ragnarok Online, creating the uber-popular Puzzle and Dragons, and producing the City of Final Fantasy, you'll get a feel that Gungho's got some pretty great ideas. So there's much to expect from their newest venture into online multiplayer action. Looking as punky as Nintendo's own Splatoon, Ninjala's vibrant battles offers layers of fast-paced gameplay. Dive into the arena as one of 8 characters and craft different kinds of weapons to knock your opponents with, depending on the size of your bubblegum bubble. Cool, right? It was one of the most popular booths at the recent Tokyo Game Show, and with its unique charm, there's no surprise there. It's coming out spring 2019. Team Sonic Racing. Working as some sort of alternative to Mario Kart on other consoles, Sega might have a hard time breaking into the Switch's market. It's still in the realm of possibility though. Given the high-speed Hedgehog's long history, the spin-off will be a veritable treat to any fan of Sonic's nostalgia-ridden escapades. Not only will it offer new Crush 40 songs to jam to, Team Sonic Racing is also pretty unique in its racing gameplay. Putting focus on co-op gameplay, race around the familiar stages and collect rings and points toward team victory. If it can be forgiven for its underwhelming trailer and cream exception, we'll see it hit the shelves on May 21, 2019. Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. Celebrating its 10th anniversary, this return of the fan favorite Tales entry takes you to Turka Lumiris once again. Fans of the series will definitely enjoy this as it features all good things Tales of Vesperia has to offer, including remastered full HD graphics, never before seen characters, expanded story, and so much more. In this new version, help the fate of two friends as they recover their lost memories in a whole new story mode. Also returning to this edition is its iconic linear mode battle system. Control your party members in real-time combat, swap anytime to counter enemy types, and change the field of battle. It's coming out this January 11, 2019.
You picked the wrong people to fight with.
Bayonetta 3. One of the biggest games coming to the Switch soon. Sega's hair-whipping, gunslinging, spellcasting witch returns to the fray once again, and it's coming exclusively to the Nintendo Switch. Announced during this year's E3, it was a huge surprise for both Bayonetta and Nintendo fans. Unfortunately, the details are short at the moment. The only preview we've got was the mysterious new trailer, and we know it didn't end well for our sassy heroine. No release date yet, but we hope it's coming out soon. The Liar Princess and the Blind Prince. Can't say it's entirely different from Nippon Ichi's other title, but there's something special about their upcoming action-adventure. Telling the story of a heartwarming friendship between Wolf Girl Princess and Prince, it's not a far cry from the storybook adventures we grew up with. To add to its atmosphere is its sepia-toned hand-drawn art style. And when they say hand-drawn, they do mean it, pouring meticulous detail into its animations and backdrops. Cute though it seems, there's gonna be some heartbreaks in our collective future. Released in Japan last May, the warm and not-so-fuzzy feels will finally be available to the West come February 19, 2019. Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age. The latest entry to Yuji Horii long-running Dragon Quest, and it seems like it's breaking out of the boundaries of the series in a good way. This 11th main installment might be a fully open-world experience, but it still manages to expand the JRPG storytelling with its vast and beautiful high-def environments. A throwback in more ways than one, 9 also boasts characters designed by Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama. Already released on the PS4 and the PC, Dragon Quest XI has received mostly positive reviews from both critics and gamers. It's particularly praised for its visuals, characters, and 3D take on the traditional turn-based combat. Still making adjustments for the Unreal Engine updates, there's still no definite release for the Switch. The World Next Door. With their anime and indie inspirations in mind, The World Next Door explores a magical parallel universe with a blend of visual novel-style storytelling and puzzle game mechanics. Set in a kaleidoscope universe with equally colorful characters, it follows the story of a rebellious teenager looking to unlock the mysteries of her new world. Something for younger audiences to enjoy, its narrative derives from the friendship between their eclectic high school cast. Bringing together anime-like stories, real-time match-3 puzzle battles, and exploration, it's a pretty ambitious project for Rose City Games, and it's coming out on this first quarter of 2019. Onimusha Warlords. One of Capcom's iconic series returns, and it's taking us once again to the riveting world of samurai adventures. Onimusha Warlords is a polished remaster of the classic PlayStation 2 game way back in 2001. Returning to the fray is its unforgettable and intense swordplay and its dramatic plot about revenge. Aside from that, it features crisp, high-def visuals that now support 16:9 widescreen and 4:3 display. It also includes a new soundtrack that breathes new life to the classic era of feudal Japan. If you are a huge fan of the Onimusha series, this is the definitive version of the best-selling action-adventure classic. It comes out this January 15, 2019. Saints Row the Third. Volition's very own version of Rockstar's Grand Theft Auto is nothing short of ridiculous. Similar to GTA, it features a third-person gameplay set in an open-world environment. Steal cars, shoot people, and blow everything to smithereens as you progress through its story-driven campaign. With its release on the Switch, expect a brand new form of mayhem right at the palm of your hands. Although it doesn't have much of a difference compared to its original, this Switch version is a good start for a whole new series of third-party games. It comes out sometime this 2019. Digimon Survive. Pokemon might be everywhere, but that doesn't mean they've monopolized the pocket monster genre. There's still plenty of love to give to Digimon's lovable digital bestiary. From Bandai Namco Entertainment, Digimon celebrates their 20th anniversary with an all-new title. Diving into the world of survival sim RPG, Digimon Survive will feel a lot different from their previous games. Instead of traditional turn-based RPG, it's gonna be centered around Fire Emblem-like strategy. Become the teenage boy Takuma and break free from the cyber world with the help of Agumon. Known for touching on darker stories compared to its Pokemon counterpart, we're expecting it to be a friendship-filled emotional ride, coming out sometime in 2019. Final Fantasy X 10-2 HD Remaster. Tidus and Yuna's adventure is coming to the Nintendo Switch. A true JRPG classic, one of Square Enix's memorable Final Fantasy titles is about to make you cry, laugh, and even get disappointed once more. A 2-in-1 title, enjoy 2 of the Final Fantasy X installments, all in HD form. This includes Tidus' adventure to save the world one blitzball at a time. Also coming from this remaster is the addition of X2, a slight 360-degree turn on the FFX experience that focuses on girl power. It comes out sometime this 2019. Darius Cosmic Collection. A series that began in 1987, titles arcade shmup was as tight a shooter as you can get in those days. Although some things have changed since then, it continues to be a respected name. In this cosmic collection, Taito takes us on a trip down the halls of video game history, with titles from the PC and Super Famicom down to the classic arcade games. On the Switch, the Cosmic Collection will come with modern comforts like the save and load feature, auto fire, and of course, a 2-player mode. With the originals auctioned off as collector's items, this package will be a splendid way to relive the era. Still more pricey than usual, it's set to release on February 28, 2019.
ジョイコンのお裾分けで2人で協力プレイ いつでも好きなタイミングでセーブ・ロードが可能。連射機能を使った強力なショットで手軽にプレイ。
Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game 2. The sequel to the adrenaline-pumping racing experience from Monster. Live the Supercross career as a real-life rider. Train hard, meet your fans, and find sponsors and contracts. Players can now finally put their character to the test. Meet the official riders from 250SX and 450SX on Monster's official tracks. Its realism and immersion brings out the growth of Monster Energy over the years. Especially its hefty improvements, including the extensive 360 panoramic compound for you to improve your skills. Alongside its racing experience, players can still create their own tracks in its track editor for some creative and sometimes crazy levels. The game is set to release this February 8, 2019 on the PC, Xbox One, Switch, and PlayStation 4. Dragon Quest Builders 2, a sequel to the Dragon Quest spin-off where you rebuild a whole new world teeming with wild beasts, cube-shaped objects, and magic. In this sequel, it will feature all new stuff not present in the original, including slopes, creating waterfalls, and underwater swimming. Additional features include a new hand glider to go to places quickly. The game's biggest addition is none other than its multiplayer. Players can finally enjoy a limitless RPG experience where they can craft, survive, and fight enemies to live the next day. We can't wait until this comes out sometime in 2019.
And discover the true potential you possess as a builder. You will come across great challenges and many powerful foes. But you must keep calm and carry on. Don't let anything stop you. Your imagination and creativity are what Dragon Lord fears the most. Because everything you do brings hope to the people of
King of the Hat. If you think this is just gonna be some regular old platformer, you're wrong. Packed in cutesy pixel visuals and filled with happy-looking sprites, King of the Hat is actually one of the most ruthless fighting games out there. In a world where the hat is both a source of life and weapon of enemy destruction, use your arsenal of combat skills to outmatch your opponents. Starting out as a Kickstarter campaign, King of the Hat is endlessly charming, offering 15 different characters, each as silly as the last. Bagging awards from a few gaming bodies, this might just be your next couch multiplayer favorite. It's set to release in the first quarter of 2019. So what are you guys looking forward to? Let us know all about it in the comment section below. By the way, you can get some of these games by using the links provided in our description box. Also, you can watch me and the rest of the What to Play gang play the latest and greatest games over at What to Play Live, link right over here. Samurai Gun 2. As saturated as pixel aesthetics can be, it does have a habit of being remarkably beautiful when done right. And that's exactly what we're seeing in the second entry to Double Fine's action fighting game. Like a smaller scale Towerfall, Samurai Gun pits you against up to 4 of your friends in gun-toting sword fighting fashion. Expanding on the depth of the first game, not only will this sequel have an all-new adventure mode with and without friends, it also has an improved versus modes, controls, and mechanics, and will also create an even more exciting competitive environment. It's coming out on the first quarter of 2019. Fire Emblem 3 Houses. No, this isn't another spin-off. I mean, don't get us wrong. Fire Emblem Warriors was okay, but there's nothing quite like the deep strategies and stories of the mainline Fire Emblem series. Making a home on the Nintendo 3DS, this 16th entry will be the first in over 10 years to be kind of on home console level. Granted, the Switch is a hybrid platform. We're mostly hoping it'll translate to more firepower for the game. Back with their traditional tactical turn-based battles, roam around the new world of Fodlan and meet with what might be the heads of the 3 titular houses. Suffering from a bit of a delay, the wait will hopefully be worth it in the end. Coming out in spring 2019.
Go ahead, give me orders. It's time to measure your worth as an instructor. of the goddess's power are necessary to maintain order. But they're wrong, teacher.
Blaze Blue Central Fiction Special Edition. The definitive addition to the fast-paced fighting game from Arc System Works, this special version features over 40 hours of new storyline that ties up loose ends from the vanilla version and making the series finale a blast. With its wide roster of 30 characters and 60 unique stages, it's a true 2D fighter with captivating special effects and a high-skill ceiling combat system. Aside from that, this version contains all the DLCs, making the most 100% Central Fiction experience ever. No release date yet, but it's coming out soon.
他人が作り上げた英雄など無価値だ。
反逆だなんて。私はただ死神を追いかけて。ラグナにはまだ果たしてもらわなければならない役目があるの。話してもらいますよ。あなたがど
Made of Skur. Based on a true story of Elizabeth Williams, Welsh developers Wales Interactive immerses in an eerie kind of adventure. If there's one thing striking about this game, it's the atmosphere. With their history of VR games, this one is also a dive into another kind of realism. Using 4K visuals, Made of Skur puts us right smack in the stories of their tragic characters. Take control of musician Thomas Evans as he plays symphonies of silence and distraction to survive his super hearing enemies, and of course, the love of his life. Hide and tiptoe around its ever-learning sound-based AI and feel the tension mount. It's coming out on the third quarter of 2019. DreamWorks Dragons: Dawn of the New Riders. A spin-off to the award-winning animation action fantasy film from DreamWorks gives players the opportunity to be a part of the Dragons' history to introduce an original story featuring two of its new and special characters. Follow the heroic duo Scribbler and Patch as they go on an epic battle to save the dragons and defeat the villain Ear. Solve puzzles, explore vast locations, and engage in epic dragon-to-dragon battles. It's coming out sometime this February 2019, coinciding with the release of the third How to Train Your Dragon movie. RPG Maker MV. For a company that prides itself with unlocking our creativity, it makes plenty of sense to offer something that's like this on the console. Turn your video game developer dreams into a mini reality. With the RPG Maker's tools, you'll be able to create brand new role-playing games in the style of classic Japanese games like Final Fantasy. The RPG Maker, while not exactly a game, isn't an entirely new concept. Released on the Super Famicom, the 3DS, and of course the PC, it has helped spawn video game gems like To the Moon and Corpse Party. With the Switch's online capabilities, you can discover even more diamonds in the rough, or let a friend play out yours. Keyboards not included, it's set to release on February 26, 2019. Animal Crossing. Another name that's been a standard on almost every Nintendo console out there. Animal Crossing is finally making its way to the Switch. What it's going to be about, we're not entirely sure yet. But it's sure to be comforting to know that we're gonna get our hands on a new and comforting world of anthropomorphic animals. A series that's made a name for being an overall feel-good simulation game since its Western localization on the GameCube. Going by the if it ain't broken principle, Animal Crossing's winning hasn't really changed much since then. But I'm sure we'll all love to see bigger worlds and newer tasks to fulfill once it comes out sometime in 2019. Trials Rising. This is the first new title in the Trials series since 2014's Trials Fusion. With more than 4 years of preparation, we're expecting big things to come in this installment. Opening new horizons with its move to the 2.5th dimension, conquer trials anew in the scenic and exotic locations around the globe. Hoping to add to their unique brand of enjoyment in this new tandem bike mode. Hilarity ensues as you and a friend control a single bike together. Working hard on improving on difficulty curves and adding on online challenger modes, this friendlier and more exciting Trials game is coming out to the Switch on Feb 12, 2019. Diamond X Machina. For a surprise announcement at E3, Marvelous Mech fighting game has caused quite a stir in the community. Described as the most metal game at the event by Polygon, they aren't exactly wrong. Trailer, music, and obvious pun aside, Daemon X Machina seems to have awakened the sleeping spirits of the Armored Core fanbase. Aside from filling in a void of mecha game on hiatus, Daemon X Machina also has the charm of its unique art style and interactive gameplay to fall back on. And that's still not counting endless possibilities of its local and online multiplayer options. Already with tank throwing and on-foot gameplay on display, its official release will come sometime in 2019. Descent. With the 90s making a comeback, you could say it's the perfect opportunity to revive this classic space shooter. With the help of Descendant Studios and Little Orbit, Descent gets a hefty yet well-deserved makeover. Still keeping true to its roots though, get behind the wheel of their space pods and enjoy the 6 degrees of freedom reborn. For this reboot, there will be 20 different ships on offer, each with their distinct roles in the crossfire for different kinds of playstyles. If you're one of the many people that love the first and second installments of the original, then this is nothing short of pure joy. Relive your childhood memories when it comes out this first quarter of 2019. The Lord of the Rings living card game. Following the footsteps of Blizzard, Dota, Gwent, and the Elder Scrolls, Tolkien's Middle-earth masterpiece looks to jump on the original card game market. And if there's one series whose lore is deep and mystifying enough to perpetually drown in, it's The Lord of the Rings. Already a successful board game, its digital adaptation may not be as complete as its physical counterpart. But its visuals does serve to add to that feeling of adventuring around Tolkien's vast kingdoms. Released on Steam Early Access, the game currently has mostly positive reviews, which is good news for anyone looking to buy it on their Switch. It's set to release in 2019. Town. Tentative title. Yep, that's not the most appealing title. They're working on it, and that's what's important. Other than that, there's many reasons to be excited. First being that this game is developed by the same people who made Pokemon. And while it isn't Pokemon, it looks promising either way. If in Pokemon you're making friends with monsters, Town is an RPG centered around a young boy defending his village from monsters. That's gonna be hard considering how adorable the attacking creatures still are. Unfortunately, there's still not a lot of details about the game. Given Game Freak's RPG history though, we're pretty confident about this one. It's coming out sometime in 2019. Final Fantasy XII: The Zodiac Age. A full-blown remaster of the last decent Final Fantasy game from Square before they butcher their future titles with bad decision-making, The Zodiac Age is a completely new Final Fantasy XII experience that tweaks the major concerns of the PlayStation 2 original. A new international job system makes everything convenient to you and your party members, and a new set of graphical overhauls breathe new life to this wonderful classic. With its release on the Switch, expect hours and hours of fantastic storytelling following the adventures of Ba'an and friends as they save their empire from a world-ending war. It comes out sometime this 2019. Fitness Boxing. Get your lazy bum off the couch and get moving in this fun boxing rhythm game from Nintendo. Mixing up the bopping tunes of your favorite pop songs to the rush of physical energy to the boxing sport. It's an exercising experience. Listen to the songs of popular artists including Lady Gaga, Pitbull, and Kesha as you box according to the beat. Duh. Using the Nintendo Switch's hardware and Joy-Con, you can make out simple jabs and a few hooks to bop along to the wide array of instrumental songs. It kinda reminds us of the good old Wii Fit days, if you know what we mean. It's coming out this 4th of January. Indivisible. 505 Games' upcoming action RPG mixes Metroidvania-style exploration and intense combat gameplay inspired by Square's Valkyrie profile. Follow Anja as she sets forth on a grand journey to learn the truth about her mysterious powers. Like most typical RPGs, meet unique heroes along the road and unlock new abilities to traverse environments and defeat epic bosses. This new IP is still cloaked in shadows with its details, but coming from the team behind Skullgirls, it's gonna be great. We can't wait for this game to come out sometime this 2019. Wargroove. From the publishers behind the adorable indie farming simulator Stardew Valley comes an upcoming turn-based tactics game. Inspired by the 2001 tactical classic Advanced Wars, it reintroduces the genre by its high-resolution pixel art, memorable characters, and a story worth looking forward to. Choose from one of its 12 commanders with each of their own campaign, motivations, and personality. Players enjoy Chucklefish's signature art style along with its fantastic soundtracks. Additionally, the game supports local and online multiplayer for you to enjoy in fun PvP battles with others. Or you can go around with the game's story via co-op play, coming out sometime this first quarter of 2019. Mineko's Night Market. A cute indie adventure game where you take care of a clouder of cats in a whimsical tale about curiosity. Play as Mineko, a young girl who just arrived at her home in Mount Fugu. Worship its son cat Abe and solve a mystery involving its long-told myth about Abe resurfacing in the town. Discover secrets behind the town by talking to people, completing jobs, take on quests, and craft items to prepare for the game's weekly night market. It celebrates all things amazing about Japanese culture and it comes out this early 2019. Final Fantasy IX. Y2K is a great time to be an RPG fan. Among its releases is the legendary Final Fantasy IX, which sold over 5 million copies since its release. It's one of the best FF series Square has to offer. Whether you're a returning player or a new one, Zidane and crew's adventures is still unforgettable. Their famous theater troupe comes in glorious high-definition upgrades. Meet your favorite characters including Vivi and Kina, as each of these characters learn about themselves and put a stop to a mysterious malevolent force that threatens to destroy their world. It comes out sometime this 2019. Catan Universe. Become the Lord of Catan in this classic and original board game where you trade, build, and settle. Reach the coast of an uncharted island and build your own settlement before other explorers can. Build roads, cities, and skillfully use their power of economy to become the major ruler of Catan. Use your Catan Universe account and become part of a huge worldwide community. You can now play with players from all around the world. As Switch users enjoy its portable board game experience, it comes out sometime this 2019. Yoshi's Crafted World. With his recurring appearance on this year's Super Smash Bros. And his own platformer spin-off, 2018 and 2019 is gonna be a great year for Yoshi fans. Nintendo's iconic green dinosaur gets his own game. Explore a huge pen and paper world like a miniature diorama where you look for items, unlock secret paths, and go on a side-scrolling quest. Aside from aesthetics, there's not a whole lot of change in terms of gameplay. This dinosaur still uses his signature moves while he eats up and knocks down enemies with his dino eggs. Roam around the adorable land along with a friend and solve the puzzles of his flipping world. It comes out this spring 2019. Steins Gate Elite. The latest entry from 5PB's critically acclaimed visual novel series is coming to the Nintendo Switch. For the first time ever, this is a fully animated adventure as they use most of its footage from the anime adaptation. Every sweet minute of their beloved time-bending anime is captured exactly for this game. Explore previously undiscovered routes with your pals Rintaro, Kurisu, and Mayuri once more. It also features new routes that are not present in the show. It's still similar to the original in terms of the main story. Every choice you make will have consequences, and the game's branching storylines will make every choice worthy of multiple playthroughs. It comes out this 19th of February 2019.
それがマユリのためでもある。
そうなんだ。オカリン、ありがとう。
Bullet Age. Bringing back the sweet 2D flair of the classics, this hack and slash from Live Games takes you to dozens of meticulously designed levels full of secrets, challenges, and over-the-top bosses. Survive the world of New Haven and scavenge the desolate wastelands after a massive explosion that turned every living being into wild, mutated creatures. Poke around its intuitive combat with a mix of run-and-gun platforming and hack and slash. Grab a friend and enjoy its co-op adventures using the Switch's Joy-Cons. It comes out this early 2019. Levelhead, a creative platformer from Butterscotch Games. Run, jump, and warp up to the corporate ladder with up to 4 of your friends. Teach these crazy bunch of baby AIs running around and train them to overcome various obstacles so they may be ready to dispatch outside of the galaxy. Enjoy its responsive and joyful indie platforming as you blast your way across its single-player campaign and player-generated levels. Call a friend and have fun with its couch co-op fun. Players can also hop inside workshops and build their very own creative levels. No release date yet, but it's coming out this 2019. Our world is ended. Augmented reality takes on a different meaning in this narrative visual novel from Red Entertainment. Following a team of young developers working on a program changes the world around the headset wearer. A glitch in the system puts them in between realities and it's up to you to save them. Despite the darkness of their story's themes, Our World is Ended is a colorful visual treat bringing Asakusa to life in their very own way. Originally released in the PS Vita in Japan, this game is set to release on the Switch sometime in 2019. Doom Eternal. The first entry from id Software's rebooted Doom franchise is already out on the Switch months ago. This sequel takes us back to the shoes of the Doom Slayers who's hell-bent on destroying whatever demon comes in his way. With the added mobility of his grapple-powered super shotgun and many monkey bars scattered in the fiery depths, players can get right into their also improved glory kills system. Eternal's multiplayer is also amped up for more cooperative adventures. Now that it's coming out on the Switch, this sequel potentially raises the bar for an already legendary shooter, even by Nintendo standards. No release date yet. Shin Megami Tensei 5. Atlus's original JRPG before Persona arrived is just about to get better. Shin Megami Tensei's latest sequel is still heavy in development phase, but its promises and ambition are staggering. This role-playing game is set in modern-day Tokyo and will feature the notable gameplay elements from previous SMT games, including the ability to fuse and talk to demons, and also a few surprises. Knowing Atlus, it's gonna be amazing. The JRPG elements might rival to its other spin-off success Persona and could potentially bridge the gap from its PS4 exclusivity to the Switch. Unfortunately for 5, no release date yet. Luigi's Mansion 3. Doing a bit of trolling by prefacing it with a Luigi's Mansion remake exclusively for the 3DS, Nintendo bounced back for Switch fans with this brand new adventure round haunted halls. You're probably still thinking about that Luigi's Mansion remake though, right? The latest in one of the few Luigi-centric spin-offs, the Green Mario Brothers steps up to the plate for another ghost hunting expedition around a scary old haunted house. A well-loved title on the GameCube, there's not much details about this newest installment. We're still expecting to hear more before its release sometime in 2019. Pokemon. Tentative title. With all the Pokemon hype going around for the new Let's Go games, Nintendo's still very mum about the upcoming core Pokemon title that's supposedly releasing on the Switch. If you're getting a bit impatient, so are we. According to some speculations though, it'll come as a Pokemon as an X and Y style featuring 8th generation Pokemon. But none of that's certain. With not so much of a trailer, there's really not much to say about the game, except that we're really looking forward to it and it's coming out sometime in 2019. And those were the upcoming Switch games for 2019 and beyond. If you love this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to become a certified multiplayer. See you guys next time!